tell age group. How does that help us, or what's our strategy then in a situation where reporting is done through two systems with different standards? In the first system, the codes have to be limited to 3 characters, so we add a new attribute, a 3-character code. We also assign effective and expiration dates, as most insurance companies embed the concept of temporal dates. Now we increase the complexity a notch by introducing a business reporting requirement that is more granular than the ACORD standard accommodates. ACORD has a bucket for over 40, age over 40 that is, but this second system wants to report on 1, between ages 40 to 65, and 2, over 65. We started with an ACORD list and now have evolved to ACORD codes, actually becoming another attribute that the standard list is mapped to. The model now has 2 entities. We go further to now harmonize across 2 other systems. System 1 has no issues, and the mapping, as you can see, is complete. System 2, however, cannot be accommodated unless the reporting requirements are compromised. Now we have 2 options again. Option 1 instructs us to take the least common denominator by compromising the reporting requirements to the bare minimum. The issue here is obvious, though, since we're unable to accommodate the ACORD mapping requirements. In option 2, we've created 2 separate entities, but then, we will not be able to report system 2 with the other data. It's very much about change and how to manage change. We support 4 major change management strategies. Firstly, versioning. Hierarchies where changes are scheduled at particular points in time are versioned. For example, chart of accounts changes are scheduled to release by reporting periods and typically version numbered like Q1 2009 COA as in chart of accounts, or 2.3 COA. Slowly changing is hierarchies where changes are random and cannot be predicted at point in time, so they employ effective dating. An example could be operating unit A, which belongs to business unit X until December 31st, 2008. Subsequently, it is slated to be changed to business unit Y, a change that will take place on January 1st, 2009. Or archive snapshots, where hierarchies due to legal or other reporting requirements can be archived as point-in-time snapshots or snapshot versions. Change event snapshots. Here, key entity hierarchies are attribute versioned as in specific attribute changes, in addition to relationship, are archived by change. Note the examples here for versioning, snapshot, and effective dating. So, change is good. You just have to manage it. Let's add master data into the mix, the 4th and final critical component of successful enterprise information management. Assuming all the reference data and metadata is in sync or under control to a certain extent, now we move on to the lowest level of the food chain, if you will. In this schema, however, the critical need for integration revolves around having a large number of producers or application solicitors. We need to map these numerous producers, but we can't do it manually. Again, ACORD provides facilitation through its own models for master data. For example, here's one view of the party model. I'll take a deep breath while you look at this. And another view of the generic party business getter concept rather than producer or distributor, applicable for most insurance businesses. Let's talk about the master data component in semantic reconciliation, and in so doing, let's describe the data integration needs of 2 different environments or groups. Our first group uses a single source for master data. Our second group, on the other hand, is in an environment where master data is created by multiple and disparate systems. Now, the first group thinks having a dominant source is great. But to be able to distribute the master data to multiple recipients, A standard model that is system independent gives you multiple benefits. Firstly, the term system independent implies that if the dominant source change is retired and a new system is put in its place, there will be no change to your interfaces. Additionally, this approach allows for data enrichment and data quality checks outside of the source system, and it eliminates point-to-point interfaces. For the second group, or in cases where there are disparate sources, semantic data integration requires mapping and consolidation in some form in order to create a single copy for reporting and data interchange. And now, to a greater or lesser extent, we've addressed our 4 pillars of enterprise information management, and hopefully in a way that ties directly into major challenges for the insurance industry. But given all the strategies and best practices we've discussed, we have yet to discuss a comprehensive and enabling enterprise data management software solution. I wonder what that would be. Let alone one specifically designed for the insurance industry. So without further ado, allow me to reintroduce you to OneData, and specifically our soon to be released OneData for insurance. OneData is a data management platform which comes out of the box ready to manage master data, reference data, and metadata, as I mentioned very early on. The solution provides a highly collaborative and flexible environment for the management and governance of any kind of shared enterprise-wide data. End users are empowered through the intuitive user interface, custom wizards, easily configured views of their business-critical data, and the ability to personalize the OneData solution. Data modelers have a powerful option of importing their own pre-existing data model or building their own, which will persist as is within OneData without any vendor lock-in and remain fully extensible. Data stewards and administrators can easily create multi-layered workflow scenarios, highly granular role-based security, and enforce governance through a powerful rules engine, and promote data interchange with enterprise business systems. OneData interacts with numerous third-party cleansing and validation tools, databases, applications, and provides a myriad of APIs and web services. OneData provides a powerful solution called MetaMap, which I mentioned earlier, which facilitates the discovery, analysis, and standardization of both business and technical metadata. So it helps create the standard, ultimately allowing you to map metadata back to the business standard. And by the way, in addition to the ACORD insurance standard, this solution supports mapping to NEAM, which is a big federal government standard, and CDISC for pharma. OneData for insurance comes out of the box ready to model and support the previously discussed hierarchical structures, allowing you to comprehensively manage reference data and hierarchies through a data governance paradigm. That includes change management, workflow, and security and stewardship controls. Master data is loaded and imported from source systems, cleansed and mapped, passed through workflow till approved, and ultimately, in the form of the gold copy, deployed throughout the enterprise landscape to downstream applications and databases. The solution comes with templates supporting party, organization, and geography, maps to the external ACORD standard, and in turn allows users to build a standard business metadata layer employing ACORD terminology through standard domains, and finally map internal or business file term extensions to ACORD code sets. So, in conclusion, getting back to our integration puzzle of the metadata business layer, standard reference data, ACORD, and master data, OneData provides the data management framework not only for integration, but a holistic functional approach to data creation, enrichment, standardization, and deployment across an insurance company's enterprise landscape.